Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's go to, you might remember this guy, John Kerry. John Kerry, Democrat, Vietnam War veteran. He used to use that a lot to give him some clout. Well, John Kerry he doesn't like a little something called the First Amendment. What? I know. Says the First Amendment is a bit of a bump in the road. Like a speed bump? A little bump, a little barrier to the final goal of people like John Kerry, which is censorship. But they don't call it that because they lie. First of all, it is censorship that Democrats, liberals want. You see it all the time. College campuses, you see it when they're protesting. It's a big thing. They shut down anyone that shows up that isn't with their cause. Tell them to leave. You can't be here. Leave. We don't want you here. And they put their hand in front of the camera. They try to steal the microphone. That is censorship. They don't think so because they think they're on the right side, the correct side, if I may. And John Kerry is saying the same thing in this clip you're going to hear because he thinks there's misinformation out there and disinformation out there, blatant lies. People are being influenced by other people on social media, and they're being influenced in ideology that isn't John Kerry's. So it must be wrong, and it needs to be stopped. That's what always gets me about these people. They can't see that their opinion is just that, just another opinion. They could think it is the most righteous opinion ever. But other people that disagree with it and want to voice that opinion, they would rather have them silenced. They do it all the time. So here's John Kerry talking about the First Amendment being a little bit of an obstacle in their goal.
And I think the dislike of and anguish over social media is just growing and growing and growing. And it's part of our problem, particularly in democracies, in terms of building consensus around any issue. It's really hard to govern today. You can't, there's the referees we used to have to determine what's a fact and what isn't a fact have kind of, been eviscerated to a certain degree. And people self-select where they go for their news or for their information. And then you just get into a vicious cycle. So it's really, really hard, much harder to build consensus today than at any time in the 45, 50 years I've been involved in this. And there's a lot of discussion now about how you curb those entities in order to guarantee that you're going to have, some accountability on facts, et cetera. But look, if people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be able to just, hammer it out of existence. So what we need is to win the ground, win the right to govern by hopefully having, winning enough votes that you're free to be able to implement change. Now, obviously, there are some people in our country who are prepared to implement change in other ways, and so that's really dangerous.
You're questioning really if democracy can survive unregulated social media.
I think democracies are very challenged right now, and have not proven they can move fast enough or big enough to deal with the challenges that we are facing. And to me, that is part of what this race, this election is all about. Will we break the fever in the United States?
Unbelievable. Oh, my God. The First Amendment is a major block in governing. This is what he's saying. They need to win the right to govern so you can make these changes. What changes? He said it. He said it. Curbing the entities. That's what he says. He wants to curb the entities out there. Because why? Those entities don't agree with you? How about the fact that when he brings up one source, what is the one source? There are thousands of sources out there. You know when we had one source? When all the people had was mainstream media with a single agenda, a left-wing agenda. They don't like that people can go elsewhere and see other ideas, other opinions, voice their own opinions. We're self-selecting. Oh, what a crime. These are all the words he used in that statement, in that little speech there. People tend to self-select? Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with that. So let me see if there's other people with an opinion like I have. I'll select a news source that I have seen and experienced that seems to be honest and not agenda-driven as much. He needs, he used the word, they need to have a referee. Who could that be? Who would be the person that gets to decide what is disinformation or misinformation? Because I'll tell you, during COVID, there was a lot of legitimate information that was labeled disinformation and misinformation. People lost their accounts. They got canceled. And they weren't allowed to voice anything that was against the company line on COVID. And we found out that a lot of that information that was called disinformation or misinformation was indeed true and right. So who would be this amazing, wonderful, knowledgeable person or entity that could decide what is true and what is false without being agenda-driven? All the little catchphrases and words he used there. And then just saying the First Amendment is a major block in doing what he wants it to be done, which is curbing the entities out there. And by entities, he means people, other alternative news, InfoWars. We just watched InfoWars go down the toilet. Whether you liked Alex Jones or not, whether you agreed with him in what he said or not, whether you loved him or hated him, he was a guy with an opinion on social media. And they certainly got rid of him. They certainly did. Dissolved his entire a kingdom that he had built over the course of years and years and years. There you go. That's John Kerry.
Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.